At kilometer 36 of the Tokyo Marathon, my legs completely locked up. No fuel left. And that's when I learned the most important marathon lesson they never tell to beginners. And it has nothing to do with how much you train. Hey, I'm Matt, and in 2025 I ran my first ever marathon in Tokyo. It was one of the most amazing but also the most challenging experience in my life. So here's what actually matters when you're out there running for hours. Here are the 8 things that I learned the hard way, and I'm sharing them with you so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. And to help you apply these lessons to your own training, I've put together an ebook called The Complete Runner's Blueprint. It covers the core foundations of what I will discuss in this video today. You can download it for free at runninme.com/blueprint. Just leave your name and your email address and I will send it to you for free. But now let's get into lesson 1. Alright, first thing, pacing. During my training runs, I kept noticing that my first few kilometers were always slower than I was aiming for. I was trying to hit around 5:30 per kilometer, but I would often get 5:45 or even 6 per kilometer. At first, I'd get frustrated. Every time I tried to push harder right out of the gate. But then it hit me. Maybe this was just the way my body is warming up. So I decided to lean into it. On race day, I actually planned to go out easy, like intentionally slow for the first 2 kilometers. I told myself, start at 5:50, let your legs settle, and then lock into your pace. And honestly, that pacing decision probably saved my race. The marathon is not a 5K. It's not about exploding off the line. It's about staying in control early so you have something left at the end. And trust me, you'll need it. So here's the weird part. Most of my training happened in brutal heat and humidity. Bali, the Philippines, Sri Lanka, all beautiful places. But running there feels like dragging a wet towel with every step. You sweat buckets, you're gasping for air, and honestly, some days I felt completely out of shape. But when I got to China and Japan, fresh air, cold weather, it felt like my body had leveled up. I wasn't overheating, I could breathe, and my pace felt more effortless. And there's some cool science behind that, because heat training helps your body to become more efficient at cooling itself. It improves your sweat response, expands your blood plasma volume, and it makes your cardiovascular system more efficient. So then, when you're finally running in cooler weather, it's like your body tells you, thank you. So yeah, heat training made me feel like garbage when I was doing it. But in Tokyo, it paid off. One thing I wish I had during all the travel, a consistent training coach I could actually talk to. And that's why I built Runninme, a smart running coach powered by AI. It creates a fully personalized training plan based on your goals and progress. And the best part, you can actually talk to it. It's like having a real coach in your pocket, wherever you are. If that sounds like something you'd use, then you can now try Runninme for free for 7 days. Just go to runninme.com, create an account, and get started. Okay, this one hurts. I didn't bring enough energy gels with me. I brought several Cis Energy gels with me, thinking that it would get me through, but it didn't. At kilometer 36, I hit the wall. Legs cramping, energy gone, and I still had 6 kilometers to go. I started grabbing anything I could find at the aid stations. Bananas, random snacks, and I ended up with some Japanese thing called Calorie Mate. I never tried it, never trained with it, but I was so desperate. We always hear, don't try new things on race day. And that's a solid advice. But when you're already falling apart, any calorie is better than none. So here's what I will do differently next time. I'll bring enough energy gels with me, even more than I need. Then at least I know I will be covered through the whole marathon. And by the way, if you have a favorite race fuel, then please drop it in the comments, because I'm seriously taking suggestions for the next time. Every time I saw a long run on my calendar, my brain started negotiating. Do you really have to go that far today? And maybe we can do 12 kilometers instead of 20? But those long runs, they were more about training my mind than my legs. A week before the race, I was in China and I catch the cold. Nothing serious, but I really felt off. Still, I decided to go for my 20 kilometer long run. And the whole time my brain was screaming at me to stop. But still, I continued and I finished. And honestly, it was one of the best training runs that I had. That day taught me the difference between actual pain and mental resistance. Of course, if you're injured, don't push it. But most of the time, your brain is just trying to keep you comfortable. And comfort is not getting you across the finish line. When I'm home in Bali, I have a great routine. I do yoga every morning, hit ice baths several times a week, and I stretch regularly. I never have any injuries. But as I was traveling the few months before the race, that routine fell apart. No yoga, no ice baths, no proper recovery. And guess what? The pain started creeping in. Knees, groins, ankles, everything felt just a bit off. It made me realize that recovery isn't something you do when you have extra time. It's a key part of the plan. The running breaks your body down, and a recovery builds it back stronger. Even 10 minutes of stretching at night or a quick cold shower can already help. Just don't ignore it, because when you stop recovering, your body will let you know. Crossing that finish line in Tokyo was one of the best feelings ever. I ran a sub 4, which was my goal, and I felt proud, but also completely broken. I told myself, never again. My legs were toast, my body was wrecked, and I genuinely believed that this would be my first and last marathon. But here's the funny part. 2 days later, I was already signing up for half marathons and even looking up for my next full one. Because finishing your first marathon doesn't close a chapter, but it opens a new one. You realize, I did that, so what else can I do? Maybe run a longer distance or set a better time? So yeah, your first marathon is where the journey begins. Early on, I had this loose idea of when I train. I figured I'd just fit it in when I could. And yeah, of course, that didn't work. What changed everything was putting my runs in my calendar, like meetings. If it said 22-kilometer long run at 6 AM, that's what I did. I stopped relying on motivation and just followed the schedule. It gave my training structure, momentum, and honestly, it removed training fatigue. I didn't have to think about when I should run, because it was already decided. So, if you're serious about your training, schedule it, block it off, make it non-negotiable. Your future self will thank you. And this is honestly the biggest reason why I built my AI running coach, Runemy. It's not just about creating a plan, it's about putting a plan directly into my calendar and getting daily messages on Telegram telling me exactly what to do. It removes the mental battle completely. And honestly, for me, it's the ultimate tool for scheduling and consistency. I'll be honest, I didn't structure my plan early enough. I kept putting off building a real plan, thinking I had more time than I did. And because of that, my longest run before race day was 28 kilometers. And I squeezed it in 3 weeks before. From kilometer 36 to the finish, I was on full-on survival mode. My legs weren't just tired, but they were completely done. Every step felt like a gamble. And it wasn't because I didn't train, because I had. It just was about not having built the distance that I should have. I hadn't taught my body how to handle those brutal last kilometers. And that's what long runs are really for. It's not just about getting miles in, but it's about building resistance to keep moving when your body wants to stop. So if you're wondering if the 30-kilometer long run is really necessary, yes, it is. Skip it and race day will let you know. So here's what the Tokyo Marathon taught me. Start slower than you think, feel better than you think, schedule your trainings, do your long runs, and recover like it's your job. And don't believe every excuse that your brain throws at you, because there's more in you than you think. If this video helped you, then please hit the like button and let me know in the comments what your biggest marathon lesson was. Or let me know if you have any questions. And please subscribe, because that really helps me to grow this channel. And hey, if you're training for a marathon, then I suggest you to try Runemy. You can now create an account and try it for free for 7 days. And if you decide to continue after those 7 days, then you can use the discount code YouTube20 to get 20% off your first month. And if you're still wondering whether you should sign up for your first marathon, then this is the sign. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.